Good day, ma'am, and for the rest of the class, we are the Group 4 and we will be presenting our report entitled The Digital Divide, Technology and Inequality. But before we officially start, let me introduce you to our team. I am Mary Gracelyn Bacarizas, together with my group mates Abdul Fafa Minalang and Rirmi Albarillo. Our presentation has three parts. First is the introduction, second is the digital divide and inequality, and last but not the least, the conclusion.
So let's start with the first topic of the report, which is technological globalization and world inequality. So the relationship between technology and inequality is multifaceted. Technology has enhanced productivity, accelerated economic growth, enabled knowledge and information sharing, and increased access to basic services. However, it has also been the cause of inequalities. So what is technological globalization? Technology is the vital force in the modern form of business globalization. Technology has helped us in overcoming the major hurdles of globalization and international trade, such as trade barrier, lack of common ethical standard, transportation cost, and delay in information exchange, thereby changing the marketplace. Technological globalization is speeded in large part by technological diffusion, the spread of technology across borders. While the diffusion of information, technologies has the potential to resolve many global social problems. It is often the population most in need that is most affected by the digital divide. The role of technological globalization in inequality. Much of the blame for the rise in inequality is heaped on globalization. Another factor blamed is technological change or digitization. The rise of robots, artificial intelligence that is seen to favor capital and higher level skills at the expense of ordinary workers. Most dynamic economic change inevitably creates winners and losers. Globalization and technology are no exceptions. They are key forces that drive innovation, productivity, and economic growth, but they also have been important factors behind the rise in inequalities we have witnessed, with technological change playing a stronger role. Technology has widened inequality as countries differ in terms of investments, policy support, or technological capabilities, or because technology is skill and capital biased and enables rent seeking, or because certain conditions need to be in place for vulnerable populations to benefit from technology, including ICT infrastructures, skills, and access to appropriate technology solutions. Frontier technologies such as AI are likely to intensify both the divides and the dividends. New technologies can create and reinforce inequality of outcome and opportunity with an implicit impact on the environment. Frontier technologies are likely to intensify these impacts because technological capabilities are not equally distributed across countries and people in the region. High technology or frontier technology is technology that is at the cutting edge, the most advanced technology available. It can be defined as either the most complex or the newest technology on the market. Impact of technological globalization on income, wage, and job. Technological innovation has been receiving increased attention as another possible cause of income inequality. In particular, information and communication technology, or ICT advances such as in robotics, automated processes, machine learning, and artificial intelligence or AI. As a result, robots are increasingly preferred over humans, especially for routine, difficult or dangerous or menial types of jobs. Indeed, robots are better at work that are dull, dangerous, and dirty. And for the opportunity, technology, together with the opportunities provided by trade and investment for capital accumulation and productive transformation, has helped achieve an unprecedented level of economic growth, enabling several countries to catch up with developed nations. However, less developed countries and countries with special needs have not been able to build technological capabilities and are lagging behind.
Next, we will tackle about digital divide and inequality. So here, we will discuss the emergence of a digital divide. First, let us define what is digital divide. Digital divide or digital split is a growing issue of underprivileged and the wealthy individuals in the society. It is also defined as a gap that exists between individuals who have the access to modern communication technology and information and those who do not have access to it. In addition, digital divide is seen between communities living in urban and suburban areas who are among wealthy and middle class status compared to individuals who are living in rural area, especially the poor, handicapped, and elderly. Digital divide is an economic and social inequality in the society. So the question is, how did digital divide arise? Here are the common causes of this gap. First, income levels. It has been observed that high-income earners have access to home internet services, can afford to modern technologies and gadgets compared to low-income earners due to poverty. Low-income earners gave priority to their basic needs and considered technology as a luxury. Poor neighborhood lacks infrastructure for the people in rural areas to have access in modern technology and make less appealing for investments of telecom companies, whereas in urban areas, telecommunication facilities are available always. Thus, this aggravates the digital gap. Next factor is education. College or high level of education often use computers and the internet compared to high school or lower level of education attained by a person. That means low literacy level widens the digital gap. Next is digital literacy. Individuals who are exposed early in using technologies and individuals who learn basic skills in using these technologies have much advantage over those who do not. Further, the advancement of technologies of developed nations have widened the inequality over the lack of access to technology of poor countries. Lastly, the motivation and general interest of an individual. Some individuals who can access and afford technology view it as a luxury. They have no interest in computer literacy and learning basic computer skills. Others also find it complicated to comprehend. This is common to elderly individuals. And how does digital divide relates to inequality? According to William Kennard, in a society where increasingly we are defined by access to information and what we earn is what we learn, if you don't have access to technology, then you are going to be left in the digital dark ages. That's what the digital divide is all about. Digital divide is not only the lack of access to computers but a more serious problem in the society. This is a contagion effect of unbalanced distribution of wealth and resources in the society. Poverty contributes to illiteracy. Illiteracy contributes to lack of job opportunity and result to lack of access to information and modern technologies. Illiteracy is a great example of inequality, wherein technological literacy can be hard to promote if an individual lacks basic literacy skills. Individuals who have access to technologies and the internet became more richer through the power of information, and those who do not have became even poorer.
Now, let us tackle the inequality in the digital world. Here, we are going to be discussing the role of a country's technological capacity over its economic growth. As the third industrial revolution has evolved, information and communication technologies emerged as a meta-infrastructure, an infrastructure that reconfigures all other infrastructures into smart systems that accelerate socio-economic development. More importantly, today as the third industrial revolution morphs into the fourth industrial revolution with the Internet of Things at its core, artificial intelligence, or AI, which are machines performing cognitive, human-like function, has emerged as the next technological frontier of sustainable development. As AI goes mainstream, its disruptive impacts are likely to be seen at an unprecedented speed and scale, which underlines the need for government and stakeholders to discuss and shape their collective futures. Frontier technologies are based on huge quantities of real-time data, which are themselves critically dependent on high-speed broadband internet. The existing lack of broadband connectivity across many countries means that the uptake, adaptation, and development of AI and other technologies will continue to be uneven. But the big problem is digital divide also exists within countries, between urban and rural areas, between men and women, driven by the availability, affordability, and reliability of broadband services. The conditions, prerequisites, and drivers of AI development and uptake shows a positive correlation between the quantity of AI on the one hand and market size, capacity for technology absorption, and investment in ICT services on the other hand. Thus, the return on investment on AI is likely to be significantly greater among countries with a high capacity for technology absorption. If current trends continue, AI and other frontier technologies may further increase income, opportunity, and impact inequalities and widen development gaps among countries and people by providing transformative opportunities to those with the requisites. Infrastructure, access, investments, and knowledge, while those without are left further behind. Technology is considered fundamental to sustaining economic growth. The harnessing of water power, followed by the invention of an efficient steam engine in 1769, played vital roles in the first industrial revolution, which drove economic development in Europe. The international combustion engine arguably sparked the second industrial revolution, while the third has been driven by the computer and internet. Technologies and more broadly innovations are central to long-term growth because of their impact on productivity. Technological capacities or capabilities, that is a country's capacity to acquire, observe, disseminate, and Apply modern technologies are thus fundamental to maintaining broad economic growth. Quantifying the contribution of technology to productivity or economic growth is challenging. Contested and approximated at best, it is challenging because technology is interwoven with other drivers of productivity and singling out its unique role is seldom straightforward. It is contested because multiple methodologies are used to evaluate its impact. Total factor productivity or TFP, an aggregate measure of productivity first introduced by Shallow in 1957, has been the traditional measure of economic-wide technological change. TFP is the portion of output not explained by the amount of inputs used in production, and represents how efficiently and intensely the inputs are utilized in production. Changes in TFP can be explained both by technological changes and non-technological innovation. It is approximative at best because of the difficulties in measuring inputs and output. The economic growth trajectories of the more advanced economies, including China, Japan, and Republic of Korea, has been sustained by the technological capabilities. Accelerating economic growth in the LDCs and countries with special needs is key to reducing income inequalities in the region. But most of these nations are hampered by low technological capabilities. The extent of technological inequalities among countries broadly depend on three factors: the investment in technological development, overall national capacity to innovate, and the availability of ICT infrastructure. Regarding the investment in technological development, 16 countries in the survey in the table here shows that it spends less than 0.25% of GDP on R&D in 2015. One of the factors why countries don't excel as much as those developed countries is their lack of investment in technological development. It is very important because it keeps your country ace together with those developed countries and ace high, especially in the economic development of the country. Regarding the overall capacity to innovate, including through non-technological innovation activities such as the reorganization of production processes or organizational improvements, among the LDCs in the Asia-Pacific region, Bhutan and Cambodia performs best in the Global Innovation Index or GII, but their scores are still well below the average for developing countries. Reasons for innovation weaknesses among LDCs and other countries with special needs, including the low absorptive capacity of farms, weaknesses in knowledge generation, which are basic research capacity, and diffusion, which are limited vocational and STEM education, and weak linkages between academia and industry. Weak framework condition, where governance and market weaknesses inhibit FDI and curtail business activity along with poor infrastructure. Also constrain the development of technological capabilities. The absence of basic technological capabilities, especially in terms of digital infrastructure and skills, will limit the ability of countries to access, use, and develop frontier technologies. Regulatory frameworks for AI and frontier technology also need to be in place before the digital divide becomes unbridgeable. This is important because automation may prove to be a double burden by reducing employment in manufacturing, but opportunities to develop technological capabilities given also by the the role of the manufacturing sector as a vehicle for technological learning.
In conclusion, global inequality is still a major issue today. If emerging markets can still deliver strong economic growth, then inter-country inequality can continue falling. Within country, inequality would be more difficult to solve. National governments still should carry out reforms to ensure that income and wealth are not under the full control of just a few. The potential of technologies to reduce inequality in opportunities is vast but is not automatic. It largely depends on the capabilities of the poor to access and use technologies and solutions that respond to their needs. So that concludes our reporting for today. Thank you everyone for listening.